This is a Volkswagen Jetta GLI. Today we'll be rotating the tires using a 2-ton hydraulic jack and 4 jack stands. Let's get started. Our cars take a beating on a daily basis. And to keep our cars in a state of constant readiness, we must take care of our tires the way we take care of our bodies. Every stop sign, hill climb, hill descent, and reckless havoc creates more imperfections in your tires. And everything comes at a cost. The price of tires is at an all-time high. Every 6,000 miles, I take an afternoon and rotate the tires of my 2019 Volkswagen Jetta. Inside the cabin box, you could find the factory directions for common maintenance. There's a wheel kit in the trunk. Grab that, and inside are 4 additional lug nuts and a pry tool to peel off the lug covers, or lovers for short. The pry tool peels the lever from the lug nut. I will be using both the provided spare tire wrench as well as a 17mm long neck socket with an impact wrench. To lift the Jetta off the ground requires precise alignment under the car's frame. The ground must be as level as possible, with any incline accounting for additional weight on the lowest side. To lock the jack, twist the handle counterclockwise. The disc will raise to a maximum of 34 inches. To lower it back, twist the other way. There's a bit of control over how far the disc lowers, but no way to control the speed. Like a volley team, there are a few different directions.
And if you look in the manual, you'll see that this is the front of the car. This is the trunk of the car, and we want to rotate the tires from front to back on either side.
The manual recommends inflating your tires to 36 pounds. Front-wheel drive cars have a different pattern than all-wheel drive cars. If you have a rear-wheel drive car, then this video probably isn't for you, as you probably go through a set of tires every month. First, we block the opposite tires than the one we're removing. Then, remove the levers. I'm going to settle the jack and raise it just a touch to use the provided tire wrench to loosen the stuck lugs. Once the bolts are free, we will use the hydraulic jack to lift the car and the tire off the concrete. Hydraulic jacks work by compressing hydraulic fluid into the cylinder of the jack by use of a pump plunger. When the plunger is pulled back, the fluid is drawn from the reservoir into the pump chamber so that when the plunger moves forward, the hydraulic fluid is pushed back into the cylinder. Regularly rotating your tires can significantly increase the life of your tires and your brakes and protect the suspension from uneven wear and damage. With the rotors fully exposed, I like to spray all the components with brake cleaner. Brake cleaners are effective at removing oil, dirt, and other debris from the car's brake system due to the combination of chemicals used to break down the elements and wash them away. Another important part of tire maintenance is a monthly air pressure check. For the most accurate results, use a good tire pressure gauge to check the air pressure in the morning before you have driven the vehicle. Underinflated tires decrease your vehicle's fuel efficiency, reduce the life of your tires, and create the risk of dangerous blowout. Fortunately, all vehicles made since 2007 come with a tire pressure monitoring system. You will also want to check your tread depth. Your tire tread enables your vehicle to grip the road and maintain control. If the grooves in the tire have worn down, your vehicle won't grip the road effectively. To test the tread of your tires, use the quarter test. First, find an area of your tire with the lowest tread. Take a quarter and insert it head first into the tire tread. If you could see all of George Washington's head, your tire tread is at or below 430 seconds and needs to be replaced soon. Each lug nut will be hand tightened and then torqued. They are first tightened while the vehicle is still in the air and again when it is on the ground. And checked a third time after the jack has been removed. The passenger side is complete. The next side will be much easier as the process mirrors the first. Even with good care, flat tires happen. Drivers need to know that there is only one way to properly repair a flat tire. Improperly repaired tires can cause blowouts, serious accidents, and fatal injuries. In the past, many auto maintenance providers repaired tires with a string or fabric-based plugs. Alarmingly, some still do so today. Plugging a tire only costs $10 to $15 and takes 10 minutes. This might seem great to a car owner looking to save time or money, but if consumers knew the risk involved, most would see that it's not worth the risk. The U.S. Tire Manufacturers Association is clear about the proper method for tire repairs. A qualified technician should inspect the tire inside and out. If the tire is able to be repaired, it should be patched and plugged from the inside out, as opposed to simply plugged from the outside in. A proper tire repair will take about 30 minutes and cost $20 to $30. If a tire cannot be safely repaired, you should replace it. Paying for a new tire is a much better option than putting yourself, your passengers, and your vehicle at risk. One time I was having my Subaru serviced for one flat tire from a nail. I was told I needed to repair all 4 tires because replacing one alone would impair my all-wheel drive system, because the new tire would be a couple millimeters larger than the rest. That moment stuck with me, and I've double-checked my tire pressures since then and reconsidered buying all-wheel drive cars altogether. You may not always think of them, but you can count on your brake pads every time you press down on the brake pedal. Properly functioning brake pads are an integral part of your car's braking system. If your brake pads are thin and worn down, you won't have full stopping power when you may need it most. Ensure your safety and the safety of your passengers by checking your brake pads for signs of wear. By making this part of your regular car maintenance routine, you'll catch small problems before they turn into brake failure. On some brake pads, you might see a wear indicator slot down the center of the pad. If the slot is gone or just barely visible, it's time for new brake pads. Besides being visible, the wear indicator can also trigger other warnings. On some vehicles, a dashboard warning light is activated when the pads have worn down to a minimum level, while other vehicles make a loud squealing noise to warn the driver that the brake pads need changing. It might seem like a simple thing to make sure that your lug nuts are properly tightened before you get behind the wheel, but this simple act of maintenance is so often overlooked or improperly done that I felt it warranted a refresh on the right way to torque lug nuts and the consequences associated with letting things slide. Lug nuts are designed to stretch a certain amount when torqued to their factory specified level. The stretch allows the nuts to make a strong mechanical connection to the threads of the lug. If under torqued, this connection isn't made. The bolt doesn't stretch and the connection is loose, allowing for vibration and movement of the lug. If over torqued, the bolt stretches to a point where its tensile properties are weakened, which makes it more likely to shear, crack, or otherwise separate itself violently from the lug. If lug nuts are under torqued, the nut can continue to loosen itself through the vibrations associated with driving, which in turn will unseat the wheel from the hub and create additional vibrations as it spins erratically. This could put pressure on the lugs themselves that they were never designed to handle, leading to eventual failure if the nuts haven't slid off first and the rim hasn't separated from the hub completely. The pattern which you tighten the lugs also makes a difference. The most common sequence is to move in a star pattern on a 5-lug setup. Start with the top corner lug, then move diagonally across until each lug has been tightened. Using this pattern properly seats the rim against the hub while you apply torque and allows for the most accurate application of tightening force. Volkswagen software systems need to recalibrate once the tire pressure has been set. Thank you so much for watching. Now, get out there, grab some tools, and have some fun. Then come back for more videos. We'll see you next time.